Hi guys, episode 8 this week, with just 3 games left this season. Last week, we had a game from 1996, which was Bang Bang Ball, developed by Metro Corporation and published by Banpresto. It's a mix between Puzzle Bobble and an arena shooter. The concept is fairly simple in terms of matching balls of the same colour to clear them, but then there are various bonuses too, which does somewhat unbalance the scoring unfortunately. Each bounce of the ball on the wall increases the multiplier, and the more balls that you clear, the more points you get too. For the levels where you can hit the power up to get the balls all the same colour, then big points are on offer. For me, I didn't really enjoy the game. On the face of it, it should be a game I'd enjoy, but it just didn't click with me. Not sure why, but I'd certainly prefer the slightly simpler Puzzle Bobble format than this, and there are times when the movement and firing feels a little clunky. It seems a few people enjoyed this though, so let's take a look at the scores. We've had 18 people play this week, which is a slight drop, but most of our regulars took part. From Blue Yak in 8th downwards, things are pretty close, with many of those guys between 1 and 300,000. Colin is just ahead on nearly 500,000, and I'm in 6th with 600,000. That score came when I messed up a level and didn't clear it in time. If you then survive the subsequent appearance of the energy balls, then you get a big bonus. I'd also put about 10 credits in, so I didn't get to see my precise score, but it was at least the 625,000 I've posted here. Our top 5 all did very well. Milthy is the first over 1 million points, and then Graham and My Retro Tech are very close 4th and 3rd. Our top 2 were also extremely close, and were both leading at different points during the week. But ultimately, it's Weebob in 2nd, and this week's winner, and taking his 2nd win of the season, is Big Juffer. Well done to Juff, and that definitely makes it interesting at the top for the final 3 games of the season. Here is the score distribution. We can see that it's looking a little different to usual. The majority of people are over on the left, before a gap to Colin and myself in the middle. There is then another gap to Milthy on his own, before our top bin, which has all our top 4 players in it. Given the range of scores overall, these guys were all pretty close, showing that there wasn't too much separating people at the top. For the difficulty curve, we've got another interesting shape, which actually implies that the game becomes easier to score big points as you improve. We have a gentle increase in score initially, before it steepens up to a plateau at the top, where all our top 4 got to, with no one getting significantly ahead. Finally, the progress over the week. Colin was an early leader after he streamed at the first opportunity available last Tuesday. After that, we can see how matched Juff and Bob were, trading places and pretty much matching scores. Ultimately, it was Juff taking the win, but it could have gone either way, so it's very well done to both of those guys. This week, most of the activity was in the first couple of days, which maybe reflects people playing, but not being too keen to return to the game, although you can see a few people having multiple stabs at it and increasing their scores. For the league table, and now we're getting later into the season, I've applied the same 5-game minimum that I have before. That means anyone who's only played 1 game is removed, and that the scores are adjusted accordingly. For Parodius, Andrew's win is removed, handing the victory to Big Juffer, and everyone else's scores are bumped up too. For Aero Fighters, Charlie Farr and Marty Dyer are removed, giving a few people a points boost. This doesn't affect things dramatically, but it does close the gap between Graham at the top and Big Juffer in 2nd. Now adding this week's scores, we see that Colin has got ahead of Paul, Milthy is up 1, and Bob is up 2. The battle for 3rd is very much on. Pearl not playing this week has seen him fall to 6th, but from him up to me in 3rd, it's very close, and My Retro Tech has brought himself right into contention with that great score this week. At the top, it's now very close. Graham is still leading, but the gap is now just 8 points with that win for Juff and the removal of a few scores from others. It's all to play for, so let's see what this week's game is. It's 1997 this week, and I've had 16 games sent to me. The most popular game was Shock Troopers, with 4 votes. This was also Juffer's choice, so it gets a 1 in 3 chance of appearing. Money Puzzle Exchange, Ride and Fighters 2, and Arcanoid Returns also got 2 votes each. So let's set things going and see what we get. Okay, starting to slow down. Okay. Oh, Puzzle Bobble 4. Oh, it looks like it stopped on Battle Circuit. I actually have no idea what this game is. It's a choice from Mark. I'm going to go look it up, make a video, and be back in a sec. So this week's game is Battle Circuit, released by Capcom in 1987. This is one of the many side-scrolling beat-em-ups that Capcom put out on both the CPS-1 and the CPS-2, with this game appearing on the latter. It's certainly one of the less well-known ones, and it's not tied to a big franchise like Alien vs Predator or many other Konami beat-em-ups. It's also the last beat-em-up that Capcom produced for the arcades, so I'm expecting the formula to be pretty refined by this point. You play as one of 5 bounty hunters who are trying to capture the mad scientist, Dr. Saturn. Unsurprisingly for a late CPS2 game, the presentation is excellent, with plenty of story going on. There are also light RPG elements, with coins available to be picked up, which can then be used to unlock additional special moves. We've not had any Capcom CPS games this season, so this should be good. The Mister also has the beta CPS2 release from Hatego, so it would be great playing that on my CRT. We'll be using the Euro 970319 ROM with default settings. For next week, please send me your games from 1998. There are some great fighting games, such as Street Fighter Alpha 3 or Marvel vs Capcom. There continues to be decent shmups, such as Dangan Feveron or Espra D from Cave, as well as other cool games too. I hope you'll enjoy playing some Battle Circuit, and I'll be back next week with the scores. See you then.